Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chestnut Retreat Center's third seminar. And so this month's seminar for the month of March, we are going to be talking about cybersecurity, social media services, and online privacy. Let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is David Sablak. I'm a freshman at Rice University studying computer science and history. The seminar for this month is cybersecurity, social media services, and online privacy. Because of the popularity and the inevitable use in our day, our lives work through the process of social media and essentially computers. Without computers, our modern day almost can't exist. And so in light of this conversation, Chestnut Retreat Center Seminars will be hosting Dr. Necmi Mutlu from Northern Virginia Community College. So a few things about Dr. Necmi Mutlu. It's my honor to present him. He's a professor at the Northern Virginia Community College. His professional expertise includes cybersecurity, information security, information technology, and IT networking. He has worked in education. So he's been a faculty member at the Northern Virginia Community College since 2009. Dr. Mutlu has received his Bachelor of Arts from Black Sea Technical University in Istanbul, Turkey, and his PhD in information technology from George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. Before joining academia, Dr. Mutlu was a senior system engineer at Alcatel in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Dr. Mutlu is an active member of the Turkish American community in the greater Washington, D.C. metropolitan region. He has been a board member of foundations, primarily on education, and as a community leader, Dr. Mutlu has been frequently addressing the local community on the issues related to education, cybersecurity, and social integration. I'm going to pass off the mic to Dr. Mutlu.
Thank you, Dawood. Thank you for a nice introduction. Yep. Hello, everybody. Let me start right away. So we are going to talk about cybersecurity, but in an interesting time. I'm not going to make this on something really technical, and I don't want to lose you guys. I would like to make something that related to whatever we have right now with the interesting situation never happened before in the history of the humankind, at least the most recent history. We are in the middle of an epidemic. Okay, so we are going to start from that point. Okay, Corona, it has so many impacts in our lives. We are in the midst of this epidemic. We are not out of it yet. So we are not sure about the impact of this epidemic in our society. Okay, of course, there are some negative impacts like the economy, like the people's health. The people are dying because of this epidemic, but it has other impacts. As you know, that one of them is it has a psychological impact, and it has also impact on the social structure. The one that I'm going to bring it up, the one that I would like to mention, it has an interesting impact on the digital technologies. I mean, this is something never expected. This is something happened out of nowhere and has a huge impact on the digital technology. So it kind of empowered to transition to the moving towards the digital platforms. And then people, whether they accept it or not, whether they like it or not, they start to work from their home. Of course, they have to have the computers and the internet connection. I don't know if you guys you remember that in the early ages of epidemic, like in the end of March, sometime towards in the middle of the April, it was really difficult to find a computer desk and computer chair and the computers. It was everybody just rush and grab one. And then if you go to IKEA, there is no way that you will be able to find a nice computer desk, okay? Because there's an influx of usages, the computers in our residential units. And also it brought us so many things. So a different atmosphere. You are in your home, but you are actually not in your home. Physically, you are in your home. You have to act as if you are in an office. It is going to bring some technical difficulties as well. And of course, since this move happened really fast, so the system, the IT system, computers, computer networks, they weren't ready for this fast movement from one office to another one. So therefore, the weaknesses start to appear. Okay, so we start to see spike on hacking. We see that a huge spike on the vulnerabilities. Every day we are seeing message about that this database was hacked, this database was hacked, it was released on the black web, and so on and so forth. And then believe it or not, we are in the middle of a very interesting era right now. It is because of the epidemic and because of the push which is coming from the epidemic. And the privacy becomes an issue. So everybody right now becomes very kind of, let's say, concerned about their online presence, their online activities. It wasn't like that before, because in the normal time without Corona, not everybody was using the internet, not everybody working from home, and not everybody kind of spending most of their time engaging with the digital platform, okay? There are some people, they were using the more frequently, but the majority of the people, it wasn't like that. But after the Corona, everybody just found themselves in front of the computer, just talking to the camera, and then doing transaction through this new platform. That brought in a kind of very interesting situation there. So this is the kind of the pre-COVID kind of the transition to the using the digital technology. So we were expecting to have people who would like to work from home. Again, this is before COVID-19 epidemic, okay? That was the diagram. So we were expecting the people throughout the years, they are going to use more technology. They are going to use more internet-based technologies to do certain things, okay? But there is a cultural blackout. You may know the technology. Technology might be there, but culturally, people may not gonna embrace that one. People may not gonna change their habits they have been doing throughout the years. They're not gonna change it. Yeah, it is good, but I like my old-fashioned way of doing things, right? That was so we are expecting to have kind of gradual transition towards the digital technology. So we are expecting to have the people and the offices that are going to use the technologies and so on and so forth. This is the planning. This is a kind of very excited news, because computers are getting cheaper, because the network connections getting faster and reliable. And also we have nice content and so many things. That's going to be a bright future in front of us. And things gonna get more affordable, things going to get easier to access. Those are the things, but again, there was a blockage from the cultural side, psychological side. People may like the idea, but they're not gonna kind of simply jump in and use it. But the expectation is that we are gonna reach a certain point, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years. But when the COVID came, that transition happened. Instead of 5 years, it just happened 5 weeks. There's a huge jump. So if you are psychologically ready or not, you have to use the internet platform. You have to work from home. You have to use virtual platforms. And before that, we are just gonna introduce this one gradually. We're just gonna help people to try it and so on and so forth. But the COVID-19 epidemic showed up, and there's a huge jump. Okay, jump in the use of digital technologies. It includes the internet. It includes the online communication and then transaction. So how the future is gonna look like? So when we go back, when the Corona is disappear, assume that. So we are kind of on the lower edge of this epidemic cycle. It looks like it's going to disappear. Maybe we have another month or so, but we're never going to go back to the old-fashioned way. That initially there will be a kind of going old-fashioned way, but after that, people will realize that, oh, you know what? I miss that virtual thing. I guess a virtual thing was better than this. So then there is going to be a little bit turning back to the kind of the online platform again. This is what we are expecting. So online is good. So, I mean, there are so many things are beneficial. And so people kind of push from their shoulder, and then just we will push them to the, the kind of new technology. They like it or not, but later on they start to like it. So this is the kind of anticipation of the digital usage in near future. Right after the Corona, if they open all the schools, if they release all these restrictions, but later on, you are going to see that we are going to go back to the kind of the online platform. This is the kind of what is in front of us. So let me introduce myself. My name is Necmi Mutlu. I'm currently teaching cybersecurity at Northern Virginia Community College, and also I'm an adjunct professor in another institutions, graduate, and also I'm teaching graduate level courses. So I had some certifications as well in cybersecurity. I'm getting another one. And then my area is IT, and also my terminal degree, it is from here. It's 15 minutes from my home, George Mason University, in IT field. So I kind of witnessed the growth of internet and so on and so forth. I get a chance to land a job and apply my knowledge instead of all these theory, years and years of theory. So I used to work as a senior system engineer. So I'm kind of putting the things together, make the things as simple as possible. I'm a college professor, and I'm doing this job at least maybe 30 hours a week. So I'm having exactly the same communication like this. So this is my job. I can, but I'm going to stay in the course. I would like to make it really, really short for you guys. Okay. So but it doesn't matter what your background is. You are right now, you found yourself in the middle of this digital technology. So before going forward, I would like to cover some definitions. I would like to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So there are 3 words we would like to understand. 3 words, we have to clarify, distinguish them. One of them is information. The other one is data. The third one is the metadata, and then we will go forward. Okay, so let's start with 3 things. Outline of today's presentation. Fundamentals, or again, these are very simple things, bird's eye view. We are not going to go technical details. This is not that course. By the way, I cannot hold myself and make a small commercial here. If you really want to go deeper, come to our college, take courses, and we will go deep inside, and then you will get a degree. Anyway, so let's stay on the surface, okay? So there are 3 things: information, data, and metadata. Very simple. So there are 2 individuals, sender and receiver. This is you and your friend. This is you and your wife. This is someone very close to you. Now you guys in the same room, there is no distance, and you're simply going to talk to each other. So you are releasing an information. I'm going to be late for next week. I'm not going to be home. Okay, this is something, this value, this is information. Okay. Tomorrow night we are gonna go outside, have a pizza. Okay, that is an information. Okay, we are expecting to have a package Friday morning. These are all information. So to be able to have this information to be received by the receiving party in this situation, you don't need anything, because you guys in the same room. You don't need any electronic devices. You're simply gonna talk to each other because you are in the same proximity, within the same very close proximity. So you don't need to have any kind of devices. But what if there is going to be a distance? So other parties, another state, let's consider the case. One person, it is in Washington, D.C., another person is somewhere in Dallas, Texas. Impossible to talk to this guy. You cannot shout, you cannot do anything. The far distance. At this point, the information is not going to go there. That it is difficult. It is difficult to have the information to go there because of, number 1, the distance. This number 2 is that is going to be the amount of information that I'm going to send. Okay, that is the fundamental. Okay, as a user, my goal is to send info. Right now, I am sending info through this Zoom communication, through YouTube, and it comes to you. That is an info, right? So we are exchanging info right now. That is not data. I'm telling something, I'm explaining something. Try to improve your knowledge. That is info. So if there is this distance, if there is going to be a distance, and if there is going to be so many things that we share, at this point, we are going to need help. So that point, the data comes in. So we have to convert the info into the small data pieces. Okay. So the one that travels back and forth from here to Dallas, Texas, or from here to your home, it is not info. The one that travels to the pipelines, that is data. So in my computer, my voice, my view, the presentation, it is going to be converted into small packages, like a puzzle. If you ever play with puzzle, you know how it looks like. And then puzzle, the pieces start to travel through the network and reach the final destination. This is your computer, by the way. And in your computer, this is going to put together and happy ending. you have the info. This is how the system is working. If you ever play with puzzles, okay, you have a picture, nice puzzle, you can dissolve the puzzle, you can put it in a small box. When you go to some place, you can put it together. This is exactly what's happening right now from my computer to your computer. Let's go a little bit inside of it. So we know that if there are two parties that are going to communicate, me and you, we must have network connection, right? Without internet connection, it's not going to happen. So usually a person on the street without any technical knowledge, when you ask them, what is this? And he said that, okay, it's a kind of a cloud-shaped thing. I don't know. There's a network, things are happening inside of it, which is normal, which is acceptable. But maybe if we go inside of it. Now, by the way, let me pause here. My presentation usually comes with all these graphs and diagrams. So if you would like to understand my speech, I will highly recommend you guys to switch to the view mode instead of listening. The second thing is that towards the end of my presentation, if time permits, I'm going to do a kind of hands-on activity. I'm going to ask you guys to grab a pen and paper. It's not a quiz. It's not a quiz. I would like to do something that get used to it. Okay. So if you have a pen and paper, you can slowly grab it and then you will be ready. Anyway, so this is what you know, right? I am me and you right now. And then there is something happens, so-called that internet, we don't know. Let's take a look at inside of it. When you open this cloud, when you look at it, actually, it is a kind of interstate roadmap. This is a kind of interstate roadmap, okay? So if you would like to go from one city to another one, you see my packages are traveling. And do you see that? The packages are not traveling the same way. The packages are not following each other. The packages have one thing common. Final destination is the same, but they can go from different places. So this is internet. Internet is like puzzle. Small pieces are traveling, and the receiver and the things get together, okay? So if you have a fast computer, this is going to fast and clear. Everybody has a fast computer nowadays, okay? There is not a question. So this is one thing. Let's go a little bit inside. What is traveling right now? The one that is traveling through the network, that is not info. The one that is travel the network, that is data. This is why we call it data communication. Quick question. When you go to the telecom company, when you sign a contract for your internet connection for your home, or when you get a smartphone, you got a new phone and you would like to sign a contract. When you sign a contract, the contract is going to be based on what? The contract, the monthly pay is going to be based on monthly data usage. So you are paying how much data that you are sending, not how much info. For the network, for the AT&T, for the Sprint, they don't care if you are sending email. They don't care if you are doing voice communication. They don't care if you are watching YouTube or doing Zoom. They care how much data that is going back and forth. Okay, so that is the concept of data. I believe it is clear right now. Now let's go to the third one. So we are going to look at the same diagram, this time for the telecom companies. Okay, here is a telecom company, service provider. This may be a Zoom right now, or this may be a AT&T, or this may be a Google, or this may be, I don't know, whatever the services that you are using. Since we are using Zoom or YouTube, so that is the Zoom or YouTube, okay? So from my side, I am the user. I'm sending info right now. So what is traveling through the pipelines? Not info. Data is going through. It's going to go to that telecom company. So right now, it is going to go to the Zoom, and in the meantime, YouTube, and it's going to come back to your computer, and you're going to see it together. This is, so let's go a little bit deeper here. So telecom companies, so we covered info. We already talked about data. Now let's cover the metadata. Metadata is something I would like to talk about it because it is important for your privacy. So when the data is passing through from one end to another one, of course, the telecom companies, they have to keep track of it because why they are going to keep traveling? Because they're going to provide the service, because they would like to make sure that you are receiving the service and you are going to be happy customer. So in this transaction, here is this is an important topic. In this transaction, there are two types of data. One data, it is about the info that you are sending. The other one is the metadata. So the telecom companies are working on two different types of data. One of them is the data, the content. The other one is the metadata. Metadata is the one they utilize to provide you a service. So let's take a look at what is metadata. Metadata, it has your profile name, or if it is a, for example, this may be a WhatsApp, or this may be your Facebook account, or this may be your Google account. The metadata has to have your profile, your name, your email, your picture. They already have it. And if you are using this device in a smartphone, and if you activated a location information like a Google, and then your location information, remember, this is stored. So when you send a message, when you visit a website, these are the things going to be taken and stored. Your internet service provider already start to record you. You are in this Zoom meeting, okay? So your profile, your name, your location, date and time stamp, whatever you do on your smartphone, whatever you do on your web browser, the places that you visited. Some people, they say that I'm gonna wipe up, I am gonna erase everything in my web browser memory. Yeah, you think you erase it, but you're just gonna erase it from your computer, not from the service provider. And which applications that you are using, how long you are staying in an application. And in some cases, believe it or not, you as a user voluntarily give out. You gave all your contact information. You don't you? When you when you download your WhatsApp application, what it says? Do you want us to reach your contacts? Of course, I would like to talk to, okay. So you are letting the telecom company to enter your smartphone and access all your addresses. You already gave it. You are happy with this one, okay? You look at the contact, oh, look at these guys are on Facebook. These guys, they have WhatsApp application and so on and so forth. So you already gave all your contacts and you are happy about this one. And also the metadata, it is very helpful for the telecom companies. They will be able to utilize them to learn more about you, so-called behavior analysis. By the way, a journalist, he was very concerned about this metadata, and he talked to the Facebook about what is his metadata. I guess officially you can ask it, but there is a procedure. When he asked the metadata which was collected about him, this look what he get. The info that he get, if you put them in a Microsoft Word document, it's going to be 500,000 Word documents. Huge, right? This is just the metadata. Each and every communication that you did through those applications, each and every website that you visit, it is already tagged. Okay, so metadata is the one that companies, they need it. Remember, they are going to provide the service. So now the telecom company collecting your metadata. Remember, your data may not be open. Your data may be secured. Some companies, they say that we are not going to see your data at all. Your data, it is going to be encrypted, not only through the communication, but also when we save it. They can promise one, they are right, and so on and so forth. In Europe, the customer rights, they are a little bit tougher. They are a little bit, I don't know, harder than the United States. So they are putting a little bit more emphasis on this one. Anyway, so let's put the data one side. Let's focus on the metadata. So telecom companies are collecting metadata. For what? Not only yours, remember, everybody. So telecom companies, they have to collect the metadata. Of course, they have to do the analytics. They would like to improve their services. They would like to learn more about you. And also they would like to see who is talking to who, and also time, location. So they are doing all of this to provide the service to you. So it looks like there are so many customers. I guess we are going to put a new tower there, and billing information. They have to be aware of how much data that you have been using, and so on and so forth. This goes on, this goes on and on. This is the one they have to have it. What else? They can do this. So they can utilize this information, the customer profiling. They would like to learn more about this one. Okay, what type of customer you are, what kind of social media preferences, your purchasing behavior and purchasing history. When you're doing your purchasing in the middle of the night, early in the morning, okay, what kind of devices that you have, whether you have iPhone or Samsung, or demographics, your location, and the places that you have been visiting. So these kind of things going to be utilized using the metadata. Remember, you already agreed to give this one. Another thing is that they can utilize metadata. They can do frequency analysis. They can come up with your network. Okay, so each and every circle here for your friends. And by the metadata, they will see which friend that you are calling frequently, which one that you are staying more on the line, which one that you are not calling that much. This is a piece of cake. If they want, they can utilize it. Okay, if they want, they can utilize it and they come up with your map. This is not an illegal activity. This is a total legal activity, and you already agree to give necessary info to the telecom companies. Especially if you have a Facebook account, you pretty much gave everything. And what else? And the third thing, if they want, they can utilize this information, time and location-based correlation. Location-based correlation. For example, if they want, again, they would like to see that 3 of you guys getting together every Saturday morning in this particular coffee shop. Okay, because location information. Okay, and that person is your contact list, and you are calling that person frequently, and you guys getting together. Location one. If they want, they will be able to see where you guys getting together, with whom, and so on and so forth. Okay, these are, I don't know if they are utilizing this one. I don't know which company doing this one. They can do it, and it is doable, and it is perfectly. It is understandable, because this is, remember, they are going to provide service to you, and they would like to make money. So if you look at the summary, okay, so metadata, you got the metadata, just going to be collected, not just from you, everybody, and then they are going to process. They are going to process this metadata. I just gave you guys 3 examples. There's 3 of them. It may be different, okay? They are going to process this data and learn more about you, more about customer behavior. We call them information. So they have the metadata, they process the metadata. These are millions of data points every minute, every second. Okay, some applications have billion users. So as you can imagine, this is happening really, really fast. I can give you one example. So you have a phone, okay, you have a phone, and what happens if you would like to go one place? You open the Google map, then what do? You enter the address and you press, right? It is going to give you the roadmap, and you will see some section of the road is red because of the traffic. That is the info that shows up in front of you, and you make your decision. Okay, data, process the data, and then you will get what? When you process the data, they will get high quality information. When you have high quality information, what do? You will improve your knowledge, and you will make smart decisions. Business, they would like to do exactly the same thing. Business, they would like to make more money. They don't want to waste money on the marketing. They don't want to send tens of thousands of pamphlets, the brochures in the households, only get 1% return. No, they would like to get most of it. They would like to have a pinpoint marketing. Okay, so you have to understand the mentality behind it. The telecom companies, they would like to make money. And then how they are going to do this? They are running telecom companies' data centers. Data centers, it is a facility. If you see the data center, by the way, none of the data centers writes a data center in front of it, okay? You just go there and you are not going to see a sign, it says a data center. There is nothing like that. It's a big warehouse. And then, folks, that is not a cheap, not a kind of easy facility to run. It is really, really expensive place to run because of the regulation and everything. So they are going to run this data center. They are going to pay the salaries of people who are working in that data center, and also the company has to make money. How much money we are paying for all these applications? How much money we are paying for Gmail account? How much money we are paying for Facebook? How much money we are paying for WhatsApp? Zero. So how these guys going to make money then? They are spending millions of dollars, and they are employing so many people, And then, so that is the question we are going to answer. So then what? So remember, the communication that you are making from one end to another one, we call them a data in transit. It is encrypted. Not everybody is encrypted. Not every application is encrypted. For example, if you have Apple-to-Apple communication, your friend has an Apple iPhone, you have an iPhone, you talk to each other, that's encrypted communication if you do iMessaging. If you do FaceTime, that's encrypted communication. Nobody will see what you're talking about except you and the receiver. Facebook, the FaceTime is encrypted, and WhatsApp is encrypted as well. In WhatsApp, only the sender and receiver will be able to see what's happening there. But email is not like that. For example, Gmail is not encrypted. So Gmail, at the beginning, it says to you, we are not encrypting your message. Gmail is scanning your email and they are preparing their marketing. They are selling that information about your profile to others. Okay. So if companies say that I'm doing encrypted communication, it means that they are encrypting the communication between you and the receiver. There are some email applications which is encrypted, but let's focus on our main topic. So here is the metadata. Metadata, it is not promised to be encrypted. Nobody will say that I'm going to encrypt your metadata because they need it. If they encrypt the data, encrypt the metadata, how they're going to find you? You like your smartphone, right? You like to talk to someone when you are walking when you're in the car, right? You like that feature. They cannot find you if you don't provide them a metadata. Okay, so they can use those metadata and they can sell this metadata to different companies. Remember, they are going to make money. Those companies who are buying your metadata, they can utilize it for product development. They can utilize it for marketing, or in some political parties, they can utilize that metadata about your profile to kind of reach out to you and then kind of convince you to go out and vote. And it goes like that. And marketing analysis, behavior analysis, all sorts of things they would like to. And we like this one. You would like to have products is going to be kind of easily accessible and less expensive, right? We like that one. So this is this a win-win situation. There is nothing wrong about this one. And then let's so this is the reality. Let's start to talk about a little bit security here. Okay, at this point it was just a definition. So we talked about the info, we talked about data, and also we talked about the metadata. Okay, so when we say security and internet, and people kind of get obsessed, and then since they don't know the real fact behind it, they become kind of paranoid, and then they said, okay, oh, how about if they steal my identity? Maybe they can track me, or they can physically track me. They can find my location, and they can send me an email and so on and so forth. But it is coming because of the less knowledge. We don't know that much about the internet and how it works. And people, when they say the internet and security, people become panic and they become a paranoid. You don't need to be paranoid. Okay, so here is the fact. There are two major issues with internet. You have to be aware of this one. There are two major issues. If you would like to learn more about this one, remember, after Corona, if you like it or not, you are in the game. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter what you are doing. You are in front of a computer. You are using internet. Okay. Welcome to the neighborhood. So you may not say that I'm not a technical person, I'm not going to worry about this one. No, you have to. Okay. So there are two interesting points. Internet. First of all, internet, it is not the best network. I'm sorry if I disappointed you. Okay. Internet, it is not the best network. Sorry if you have high expectations. Internet born with weaknesses. The internet immune system was not developed. So therefore, we are seeing all this hacking happens every day. Every day here and there, and as one company was hacked, another one, because of when internet was growing, they missed the shots. Security wasn't a main concern when internet was growing. What happens? A child missed the shots. If you're a parent, you know the answer. That child's going to get sick every day because he missed the shot. The second thing is that about internet Internet and especially the devices like servers and some computers, they built some access points. They built with some backdoor access points, like your car. Your car, if you lock the car, nobody can enter your car, right? If you lock the car, do you think you will be able to reach your battery? No. You cannot open the hood. How are you going to reach the battery? Really? How about your underneath of the car? Do you think your underneath of the car is locked? There is anything there? No, it is totally open. Why they have underneath of the car is open? Because for servicing, right? It is exactly the same thing when the computers, especially the servers are developed, they develop like this, okay? So these are the vulnerabilities of internet. You have to be aware of this one. So let's take a look at the risk. So the first thing is the security. You have to consider risk. Do you think you are a high risk person? Do you think I mean, maybe you are a high risk person. I don't know you. If you have millions of dollars, if you are a very famous person, if you are in a high offices, then you are the target. Everybody would like to reach you. Okay. So there are two parameters. What are the assets that you have, and what is the percentage? What is the probability? Okay. You may have millions of dollars. You may have a knowledge. So everybody, oh, you know the coronavirus vaccine. So everybody would like to hack you because you have a value, right? Or you may have a social capital as person. If you say something, it is impacted the society, or it is at a high position and it has a personal info. This may be a famous person. These are the risk factors. If you don't have any of these assets, so why should I worry that? Okay, so you don't need to be paranoid, and then they're not going to come after you, because the reason is that hacking, it is not an easy job. It takes time and it is a criminal activity. So hacker also putting his life on the line. Okay, so that's the target has to be something valuable, high valuable target. So what is the risk factor? What is my risk factor? This is the question that you have to find by yourself. So if your assets, it is not that much, and if you allocate so much resource to protect you, are wasting your money. Let me give you an example. You cannot allocate $100 to protect $5, right? I have $5. I'm going to buy a new box. It is going to be $100. It is a ridiculous idea. So same thing there. Okay. So the assets that you have, and then you have to, of course, utilize some countermeasures. Okay, a little bit on social media part. This is the one that you have to be aware of. That you remember, if you like the social media or not, we are in the middle of it. Historical facts about the social media. Social media was a child tool that the kids are playing together. Some youth are working on that one and playing that one. It wasn't kind of one of the things. But until that, the Arab Spring or the Gezi events in Turkey, they realized that big entities, governments, they realized that this social media has a power. It is powerful, but it's not a mass media. So the government or other entities, they cannot control this one. It was out of control. So people, they never met each other. They can get together in the social media, and then they group, they become kind of organized and go outside on the streets and make some protests and so on and so forth. That was the first shock. And then, of course, the big governments, they later on, they recover, and then they come up with their own models. Okay. Just to give you an idea, Russia, they have their own models. Their models is that they have specially trained troll farms. So these are the people, their job is to have at least 5 different social media accounts, maybe 3 Twitter account, maybe, I don't know, another 3 Facebook account, maybe 15 different social media accounts. Their job is from early in the morning to the late afternoon. They're simply gonna kind of use their social media and then impact to the people. And they have their troll farms. In Russia, they were paying around $2,000 a month for US dollar for a troll. Okay, and their goal is the kind of the disinformation, changing the information thus diverting the information from one fact to the another one. China, on the other hand, they realize that people are using smartphones. They say that I would like to control everything that you do. In China, they have an application you have to put in your computer, and then government will give you a grades, give you a kind of points if you do good things. And United States and Europe, they have strong laws and regulations. They are not doing that kind of thing. They are doing other things. So I'm simply approaching from the social media and its effect. And some less prominent countries, they are simply mimicking what these big countries are doing. Sometimes they have their own troll armies. Sometimes they try to come up with an application to ask everybody to install. This is our own application, please use it. But at the end, the quality of the workforce, quality of the IT, quality of the system that come up with, it's simply going to be reflected by the quality of their people, okay? So that is an interesting relationship. Quality of the people is going to be reflected in this ITSS. Let's take a look at this WhatsApp case. There was a big question about WhatsApp. WhatsApp, it was initiated in 2009. It was a project by two young fellows, so Brian and John, but it picked it up really fast in, what is that? In a couple of years, less than 5 years, it's just grow and grow and grow, and it becomes huge. In 2014, Facebook, they paid around $2 billion. Be careful, this is $1 billion to buy the WhatsApp. Those guys, the Brian and John, they become instant, not millionaires. They become instant billionaires, okay? And then in 2000, WhatsApp is kind of reaching out around 2 billion users. By the way, how much money Facebook paid? 20 billion. How much money Facebook is making out of this one? Did you pay for WhatsApp account? No. So how much money they are getting? $0. Do you think this is a good business? You allocate $20 billion and you're not getting anything. Do you think? Okay, that's a big question mark there. Remember, these are companies, they would like to make money. And then of course, WhatsApp is collecting information about you. And Facebook, it is the best one. So in terms of the providing social media and also collecting a lot of, if you have a Facebook account, you already agreed to give out so many things about you. These are the lists that you already agree, said that, and you said that Facebook, take it, okay? And of course, Facebook would like to make money out of this one. Facebook or WhatsApp, they're gonna release new kind of customer agreement or customer policy in May 15. Okay, so other applications, iMessage, it is based on Mac platform. It's Mac platform. The other part has a Mac computer, has limitations. Signal, it is something as a new guy in our block. It is coming. It has the same roots, same DNA with WhatsApp because the founder is the same. This one is not for profit, so they said that we are not going to collect that much information about you. We are not after your metadata. This is what their starting point. So this is one of the applications that can be utilized if you are concerning about your metadata. Remember, the receiver party must have it. So if you are not paying for it, I'm going to come to the last section of our talk. That is going to be your personal level, what can be done. This is the lecture is ending right now. So if you are not paying for it, if you are not paying for Gmail, if you are not paying your Facebook account, if you are not paying your any account, it means that you are not the customer, by the way. You are the product being sold. They are selling you. They are selling your information. You're either going to give money or you're going to give everything about you, your profile. You make the decision. You already make that decision. If Facebook is $10 a month, would you do that? If WhatsApp, it is $25 a month, would you do that? I don't know. Okay. But okay, no money, please give us your life. Okay, Let's kind of towards the end right now. Let's talk about what you are going to do personal level. This is you right now. First of all, there is no free lunch. Okay. Second thing is that don't believe everything that you see on internet, every email that you receive it, there is going to be a zero trust. Check it, and after that you open it. Okay. So digital technologies are coming. We are happy, very excited. 5G is coming. 5G is a new highway. We haven't utilized it yet. Okay. Artificial intelligence coming. It is going to help us a lot. Okay. We are simply excited and cannot wait for it. It is going to be fast and less expensive environment, better life and better web content. This is where we are heading to. And the security part, of course, security is a big concern nowadays. It's a kind of security guys playing the catch-up role because there are so many vulnerabilities here and there. And the people, the weakest point in security, believe or not, the weakest point, it is humans. The people who sit in front of a computer, especially the interns, especially the new employees. These are the weak points. Okay. By the way, so should I really worry about that internet thing? What is your risk factor? What do you do? Okay, are you a really important person? Are you handling important things? If you're not one of those millionaires and billionaires or the big movers in the society, so yeah, I mean, of course you have to do your precautions, but you don't need to be paranoid about this. If you're in high level, your company, they will come to you and teach you about some practices about how to secure yourself. So when you're interacting with internet, remember metadata and everything is recorded. Okay, internet is the place where they record and they can come back 10 years later. Your movement on the internet, it is recorded by the law. You look at a website and then you move your mouse. You did not click yet. It is also can be recorded. If they want it, they can record that one. So there is no free lunch, and remember the zero trust. So, okay, so what I'm going to do. So let's talk about you as a user. So how many passwords do you have? How many accounts you have? On average, it is around 15 or 20. Let's make it 10, okay? You have an account for your utility company. You have account with your water company, electricity company, DMV, your bank, your internet, your, I don't know, the list goes on and on. You have all these accounts, okay? So if you have 10 accounts, how many passwords do you have? 10 or less? Oh, you are using the same password for some other accounts? Not good. So some people are using the same password for other accounts, and they are not updating the password. The same password last 5 years, and the password complexity is really low. It is kind of birth date and his nickname in high school. Okay, and even though all these companies are utilizing the two-factor authentication, and you are not utilizing that one, it is that you don't use that one. These are the weaknesses. Wake up. Things are changing. This is not all times. We are using everything online. Okay. So what is the thing? So now we are coming to that towards the end and the small hands-on activity. First of all, where do you keep your passwords? Don't answer it. You just answer by yourself. If you are keeping your passwords in your brain, I don't know. There was a guy who did it. He had a Bitcoin kind of in a hard drive. He remembered the password, and he put that hard drive aside. Years later, he realized that that hard drive has a Bitcoin. It worth around $1 million. Okay, I'm gonna become millionaire, but he couldn't remember the password. I don't know how to call that person, because this poor guy, he think he will remember it. No, sir. Okay. The worst thing that you can do, you put your password in your brain. Second worst thing that you can do, where do you keep your password? You keep your password in your computer, in your desk, in your home computer? Not good. Oh, you keep your password in your smartphone? Terrible idea, okay? You must write with pen and paper in your password in an actual old-fashioned notepad. If you don't do this one, please go get a new. There are notebooks that you can purchase from Amazon for specially designed for passwords. Okay. So probability of losing your netbook, it is less than the probability of losing your computer. The electronic devices sooner or later is gonna get a crash. Okay. So let me give you one example. Okay, ready? So I want you to think a word from your life. Think a word from your life. For example, Red for GT or anything that is something unique to you. This is a secret word, and you are not going to write this one. Okay, your childhood hero, something easy to remember. Now we are gonna. So that is that red box. Okay. So now I'm gonna write my passwords in my notebook. So I have a pen and paper. I am writing. Okay. So my first password, it is going to for the bank. So I'm putting a number behind front it, and also some kind of characters number combination at the end of it. Remember, in the middle, that is the secret word. So this is how I generated my passwords. Okay, your password length must be minimum. They said 8, but the recommended one is 12 or 15 is much better. So if you are going to use this method, there are 3 methods I'm going to show you guys. So just if you have a pen and paper, why don't you write an example password for yourself? Okay, pick up that word from your childhood hero, whatever, and then just can you come up with a password like this way? Remember, you are not going to write it, just going to make a dark light. Why? If you lose your notebook, if you lose that notebook that you wrote your password, if someone grabs it, they're not going to understand anything about this one. Second one is that you can pick this is how you can come up with your secret word. Just put a sentence, maybe Chestnut Retreat Center. Okay, this is the sentence I'm going to use, or the sequence, and I'm going to pick a number 3. So what that means that I'm going to only pick every letter after the third one. So in Chestnut, so I'm going to pick C, go 3 steps, T, go 3 steps, underscore, go 3 steps, R, and now I have CT underscore R underscore T. That is my secret word. If you couldn't find that one, again, so all your emails going to have this section is the same. So this is not going to written. This is not going to written. Okay, and then this is another way to generate your password. We are coming towards the end, and here's an example of how it's going to look like your password. So your bank and the telecom companies. Remember, a section of that it's going to be saved. Okay. And then here is the one. This is not a password. This is using a phrase, a sentence. Okay. For example, you may say that Chestnut Retreat Center, but you are going to write it with your own way. So in my writing, if there is an S, that is going to be a $sign. Okay. Chestnut, and I'm going to use underscore for between the first letter, first word, and the second one. And the last one is going to be dash. So this is the notation that you are coming. You don't. So if there is going to be a letter A, I'm going to use at. This is, remember, nobody, not humans, gonna try to guess your password. It's not like the machines, the computers try to decode your password. Okay. Another one is that, for example, Elvis Presley never wrote a single song. That's a fact. So you can rewrite this one. Elvis writes, if it is capital A, I'm going to use number 3. It is kind of E. So, and I'm simply going to come up with this one. This is the best one to learn because it is easy to remember, but also you have to remember your special code. You can come up with something like this when you are watching my presentation. Okay. So the difference is that password with different combinations, that is going to be, if you don't keep it, especially if you don't write it, you're going to forget it. Okay. If you put it in your computer is going to crash down. Or if you use the phrase, that's going to be easy to understand. So let's come to the last section. So last part is this. Okay. So what is the deal then? Okay. Your electronic device sooner or later is going to give up. It is going to, maybe there's going to be an accident. There is going to, maybe going to lose it, or maybe it's going to get old, or the thing's going to disappear, or maybe a virus. So it is not a good idea to keep the things in your computer. You have to write it down, okay? Just practice right now and then come up with some passwords, okay? Backup, you have to have a backup, your system. And then the backup, you can do two different backups. One of them is that you can purchase one external hard drive, which is not that much expensive, and put it there. The second one is that you can use cloud-based backup like Google Cloud Services or Dropbox or Microsoft's OneDrive. These are very convenient, okay? If something happens, your computer crashed down, everything is get lost. You don't need to cry. You don't need to worry about that because you did not lose anything, because remember, you have the backup. The backup is in the cloud or backup is in your external hard drive. The last thing is that security. For the security, what is my risk factor? Okay. Yes, I have to do precautions. Yes, I have to have a password. Yes, I have to write my passwords down. Yes, I'm going to change the password and so on and so forth. But you don't need to be paranoid. Okay. It is life. It is part of it. Time and the money, that is the security means that it is going to consume a little bit more time. It is going to consume money. Okay. How about 100% security? Do you really want 100% security? We don't want 100% security. Why? Because I want to get communication. I would like to receive a call while I am in the car. I want my telecom company to know where I am. I don't want to hide my location. So it's 100% security. I don't know if you really want it. Okay. And also remember that whatever you put on the internet, that is actually you are giving up so many things. You are giving up so many things about yourself voluntarily. Okay. Okay. So towards the end, so if you look this one, communication service as a utility. You pay for the gas, you pay for the water, you pay for the electricity. So that if you are using internet, if you are using all these free tools like Facebook and the internet and the Facebook and then WhatsApp or Gmail, and there is a cost associated with this one. Okay. So this is the end. This is the end from my side. If you have a question, I'll be more than happy to answer it. But this is all I have for today. Thank you.
If there are any questions, I can voice them for you, or you can go ahead and raise your hand and we can call on you and you can just voice them yourselves.
Hi, I have a couple questions. What about those programs that will store all your passwords for you? How secure
That
is
is a good one. That's a good one. It is. They do a good job because they are going to generate such an interesting passwords. Yes, I guess one password is one of them. It can be usable as well. But remember that that password, it is going to be saved in their repository. It's a kind of the cloud. It is one of the alternatives. Yes.
So I should be worried about that?
No, you can trust them. Yeah, but remember, you have to you have to have a password to reach that password program, right?
Okay, but it's only one thing to write down, right?
Write it down.
One really good thing.
Yeah,
Then,
just write it down.
how secure is Google Cloud Storage and OneDrive?
I mean, according to they are secure because they are doing all sorts of measures. And nowadays, they have to be very careful about this one because so many things are happening. I don't know if you are following the cybersecurity news. There was a SolarWind case. SolarWind, it is one of the companies who provide cybersecurity. One of the big companies. It was hacked. Oh my God. It is not a average company. These guys are providing tools for all the companies make to secure, and they were hacked. And the reason is that it was unbelievable. It was a very, very simple mistake. One of the interns has a password of SolarWinds 123. Same thing with what was the company? The United States credit scoring company. What was the name of it?
Equifax or
Equifax, yeah. Equifax was hacked from. It was hacked from South America. One of the passwords in that office, it was ABC123, something like that. So the idea is that the weakest link is us, the human. So technically they are doing job. Technically, Google Drive, Apple Cloud, they are doing job, or the I have OneDrive. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I have that
Yeah.
too. What about VPNs?
VPN is good, but why? I mean, if you would like to hide yourself, I don't want anybody to see which website I am visiting. There are techniques, there are ways to can build, and you can have some of the, you can use some web browsers. I guess DuckDuckGo, it is one of them. Duck, like Duck, yeah, DuckDuckGo, I guess. One of them. Firefox is not that much bad. So these are the ones that collects less information about you. But if it is going to be a VPN, yes, it is doable. It is going to kind of, you're not going to leave any trace because your communication is not going to see it by others. It is one alternative. You can utilize VPN. There are websites like a Tor, T-O-R, keeps nothing. I mean, these are the other options there. But we are talking about average person. So if someone is journalist, someone is kind of, I don't know, working on a really important project, of course, they are not going to use Gmail account. Of course, they are not going to use Chrome. Okay, they have to use a little bit more sophisticated ones.
Thank you so much. This was terrific.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Mutlu, we have a question from one of the speakers. They're asking, how do you see the future of the internet / cybersecurity as a job? We have a lot of young friends who are looking for a good area which has a future.
Okay, I was expecting for this question. Remember, I'm teaching at the college. This is kind of my preaching mode. So as you may understand, that internet born with weaknesses. Internet born as a guy is a think about a high school student gets sick every day because his parents or her parents did not do their job and did not get the injection. So that is number one. Number two is that internet, growing really fast, and especially this corona, exponential one. So of course there is a rush. There is a rush for IT fields, not just cybersecurity. In IT fields, so under the umbrella of computer science and IT, there are so many measures there. Okay, not specifically. I'm not gonna kind of push everybody towards the cybersecurity. It is one of the items, but in terms of the biggest picture, computer science, programming, engineering, and IT, these are the fields are in high demand. From our side, in Virginia, for example, I live in Virginia, Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Our governor, a couple of years ago, they called all the big institutions, big universities, and they said them, we need 30,000 graduates. 30,000 graduates in the field of these technical ones, because this is what we are going to need in coming 10 years. Okay, that is the projection. So you're just going to look at your state and then see what are the projections they have. And then, of course, it's an area because of we are playing catch up. We are playing catch up. So all the companies are trying to do catch up. I mean, I'm a member of some groups, and every day, I mean, all these kind of the airport, one airline's database was leaked, one dating website database was leaked. Some of them is on sale. There are websites that you can go ahead and buy a database. I mean, what do you want? You want login and password and someone else's credit card? It is there. Go get it. Okay, pay the money. That is unacceptable, and I don't know. That is the danger. So there is a push for that one. There is a push for that. And if the students, if you're interested in that, this is one of the solid things on the way. Okay, there is no question mark that if there is going to be a job or not, and foreseeable future. And also remember that the corona is a kind of the huge impacts. The kind of corona just speeded up that process. There is a rush for that one. Okay, I hope it answered the question.
All right, Dr. Mutlu, I think that's all we have. If you want to say anything else.
Thank you for the time. It was a pleasure. I like this subject, even though I gave other topics, but this is my favorite one. I hope you have the pen and paper and start to think about your password.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. You can follow the Chestnut Retreat Center from the social media link below. And that's all we have for you guys tonight. All right, have a good night, guys.